Hi guys, and welcome back to Kiwi Tech. Today we're looking at a ROM for the Xperia Z Ultra. This is based on CM10.2 and is called Carbon ROM. So it's a clean Android feel, but it has some carbon features which I'll go over in a second. So I'm just going to go into About Phone, and you can see that it is Carbon, Jelly Bean unofficial version, so this is still a beta. It is Android 4.3. You can see the model number is Xperia Z Ultra. Right, let's pull out of that and show you some carbon features. Right, so if you're familiar with CyanogenMod 10.2, which is Android 4.3, you know that it's very clean, very fast, very smooth, has no bloatware. It's just pure stock Android as it was intended. So with Carbon ROM, it's the same thing, except it has a few more features. So let's go on to look at those carbon features now. So the first one we can see is animations. Now within that option, we get to change the way an animation happens when we open a task, close a task, move. So there's lots of different animations in there. We can also enable Halo. Now, if those are, I'm pretty sure we're familiar with Halo is. Halo is like that Facebook little circle that comes in off the side of our screen. I'm not a big fan of Halo, so I'm not going to enable that for my device. But those of you who like Halo on your Android phone, then it comes pre-installed as an option with this ROM. Next one, we're going to look at interface. Now we can see that we can change some transparency settings. We have some clock widget settings. We can change the low power, if it's going to vibrate, if it's going to notify us with a sound or with an LED flash. Now if I scroll over, you can see there's buttons, a buttons tab, and if I pull across again, you can see there's that density of the LCD. You can change your screen density within this application itself. Now for me, I'm not going to do that because all applications won't run the same. Next we have lock screen settings. You can see I've just selected or ticked the box that says camera, so if I swipe across from the lock screen it goes to camera. Let me just get out of that and pull back to the lock screen. And you can see I can show me hints, I can make all the widgets maximized, I can add transparency. There's a lot of information here. We can also add shortcuts on the lock screen, but unfortunately if I click that and hold that, you can see it stop working. Now that's because it is still in beta, but that'll get working pretty soon. Now under that we have navigation. We can change the keys at the bottom of your device. You can see them up there. We can change the transparency level of those. You can change the size of those, the thickness of the font or the borders of the actual icons itself. The next option is power menu. So if you hold down the power button, these options that I've selected before will appear. There you go, power off, reboot, airplane mode and screenshot. We also have a three-way reboot, bootloader, recovery and reboot, which is pretty cool instead of having to hold that volume up button when we see that purple LED. We have ribbons, so lock screen ribbons. You can add those icons to your lock screen. You can set it, have a boot name, you can set notification ribbon, quick setting ribbons. Okay, now if I pull out to the last menu, which was status bar, we can see that we have custom icons, we have brightness slider, so if I tick on the brightness slider, I'll do that now. If I slide my finger across the top, that changes the brightness. It's handy. We have custom colors, which I spoke about before. If I scroll across, we have our battery. We can change the battery style of the icon. There's a lot of things to choose from here. You can see I've got a round one with my percentage in the middle, and we can change that to my speedo. I can go back, we can change it to a centered normal battery icon, circle with percentage, that's just my preference. We can change the battery color, we can change the battery location, the battery thickness, and also tick the dialog box that says a charge animation occurs when we're charging. So there's a lot of tweaks within the battery as well. After the battery we have the clock, which is also in the status bar. We have notification alerts in the status bar, the power widget, and we have toggles. So those are all things that are going to be in our top status bar. We also have device tunables, but like I said before, it's a beta and this also does not work. Right, Back in the main screen, we can see dark carbon. You can add that dark carbon theme, which adds a total blackness instead of that grey. I prefer that. It just looks better, it looks a bit cleaner. Then we have launcher. We know that this is a Trebuchet launcher. We can change our home screen, we can change our transition effects. We can change the app drawer, we can change the dock. So basically you guys need to download this for yourselves. I've got a link in the description to Carbon ROM, which as I said before, based on CM10.2, Jelly Bean 4.3. So download it for yourselves, flash it on your device. If you're not sure how to flash it, let me know, because I've got a video on how to flash CM10 on your device. Now the biggest reason why I wanted to change to CM10 or a CM10 based ROM was mostly because of its fluidity. It's a lot smoother, it's a lot cleaner. It has that stock Android feel that I quite like. But probably most importantly is the camera. Now, if you're an owner of an Xperia Z Ultra, you probably know that that Sony application has a lot of post-processing going on. It has a lot of white noise, and it just doesn't quite have. Well, it's got a good sensor. It just doesn't use that sensor good enough. Now, we know that CM10 uses an application called Focal, so this camera application is far better than the Sony camera. I've just taken a picture of a child's book that I had on the desk next to me. And we can see that there is a little bit of noise around the letters and around the actual of the text and the illustration, but overall it's pretty good. It does a pretty good job with that 8 megapixel camera. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. This has been Kiwi Tech. Thanks for watching, and like always, I'll catch you next time.